All right, let's talk about AI. Is your company throwing a ton of money at it, but not really seeing the results you were promised? Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dig into why the secret to making AI work isn't about the tech at all. It's actually all about your people and your culture. Okay, so how do we actually fix this? Here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by pinpointing the real challenge that big companies are up against. Then we'll dive into a 5-part playbook. We're talking about a new mindset, how leaders can step up, starting smart instead of big, and most importantly, empowering your people to make it all happen. So, first up, the Enterprise AI Challenge. It's all about moving beyond thinking of this incredible technology as just another simple tool in the toolbox.
I mean, this has got to be the question that's keeping leaders up at night, right? You're investing millions, you hear all the buzz, all the hype, but when you look at the bottom line, the real world value just isn't there yet. And that has to be incredibly frustrating.
So what's the disconnect? Well, it really comes down to how we're using it. On one hand, you have companies treating this powerful AI like it's just a glorified search engine. You type in a basic prompt, you get a basic answer. The value is super limited, and honestly, it just creates new headaches. But the real magic, the real potential, is unlocked when you start treating AI as a thought partner. Think of it as a collaborator that actually enhances what your employees can do, not just something that spits out answers.
And that right there brings us to the absolute core of this whole thing. This is about a critical mindset shift. We need to stop thinking about AI as just another piece of software we're installing. It's time to start thinking of it as a new teammate joining the company. This quote from Peter Trott really nails it. Treat AI more like a coworker or a teammate than just traditional software. I mean, just let that sink in. That one little change in perspective, it's the key that unlocks absolutely everything else. It changes how you bring the tech in, how you train your people, even how you think about what success looks like. And this is what we mean by a human-centric AI strategy. It's this idea that rolling out AI isn't just some tech problem you hand off to the IT department. No way. It's a strategic, creative, and really a human process. It has to be built from the ground up, with your people and how they work at the very center of it all. Okay, so if this is a strategic issue, it has to start at the top, right? So let's talk about the leader's role in all this. Here's the playbook for actually guiding this transformation. So for any leader listening, what do you actually do? It really boils down to 3 big things. First, you've got to embrace it yourself. Get your hands dirty. Understand the tool. You just can't lead a change like this from the sidelines. Second, be radically transparent. Your team is anxious, they're worried about their jobs. You have to address those fears directly. And third, you need to create an AI manifesto, a clear guiding document for the entire company. And let's be clear about this manifesto. This is not some boring, top-down policy document that's going to collect dust. Think of it more as a cultural guide. It's about giving your people permission to play, to experiment, and yeah, even to fail sometimes. It's about setting real expectations, being honest about the risks, and making it crystal clear that this whole initiative is being led by your employees for your employees. Okay, so you've got leadership on board, you've set the cultural tone, now it's time to actually roll this out. And here's where we hit a really common trap, the temptation to go big fast. The wrong way to do this is what you see here, the blanket integration. Just throwing AI at every department all at once. It sounds ambitious, but it's super high risk, totally unfocused, and let's be honest, it almost never works. The right way is to be phased and experimental. Start small, be deliberate, learn from your wins and your mistakes, and always, always keep your eye on tangible business outcomes. So, where do you start? The advice is simple. Don't get distracted by the latest shiny AI gadget. Instead, find a few pilot projects in areas that are super language intensive. We're talking marketing, sales, customer service. These are the places where you can get some quick, visible, and measurable wins right out of the gate. And this is so important. The goal is never just to use AI. That's not a strategy. The goal is to solve a real business problem. So before you do anything, ask yourself, what are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to boost our gross margins? Are we trying to make our customers stick around longer? Define that problem first, and then you can figure out where AI fits in as a teammate to help solve it. All right, we've covered mindset, leadership, and a smart rollout. But now we come to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it's the most critical factor for success. It's all about empowering your people. Because at the end of the day, the biggest hurdle you're going to face in adopting AI isn't the technology. It's getting your humans on board.
You can have the fanciest, most expensive AI on the planet, but if your people don't use it or don't know how to use it as a teammate, it's just a very expensive paperweight. The tech is only half the battle. The real transformation kicks in when your team feels empowered to lead the charge.
So how do you actually do that? First, you gotta decentralize. Get AI out of the IT department's silo and put it directly into the hands of the people doing the work. Next, encourage them to completely rethink their old workflows from the ground up. Don't just tack AI onto an old process. And of course, support them with real coaching, a mix of AI tools and human advice. And finally, and this is huge, you have to prioritize training for your frontline managers. They are your secret weapon for making this whole thing work on a daily basis.
So as we wrap this up, it all comes down to one simple but really powerful question you need to ask yourself and your company. Is your goal to build AI tools, or are you trying to build AI teammates? Because how you answer that question, well, that's pretty much going to define your success or failure in this new era.